Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are live at 64, waiting for that big solar maximum flare to head in here at a million miles an hour. Tomorrow it should hit, and we should be feeling the effects of that, whatever they may be, over the next 3 to 4 to 5 days. I'm not sure. I know that the sunspot that is creating all of the chaos is 5 to 6, 7 times larger than the Earth itself. And the solar flare maximum, this blast is out of the right equatorial, subequatorial region of the sun. If you were plotting it on the Earth, it would be somewhere down near the Keys in Florida. Um, so yeah, a million miles an hour to get here, 97 million miles. I don't know what's going on with that necessarily, but you guys out there can do the calculations and look at the space weather map and see what's happening and fill me in on this, please. Um, Again, welcome to the show. We had a great last two shows. It's been really calm, cool, and collected, and really exciting. We've got a few manginas out there that are supposed to show up, and simps that won't show up, and mama's boys and stuff like that. That they just, I guess, they're mama's boys and manginas and simps and NPCs and LPCs and I don't know what else. Brainwashed a bunch of guys. I don't know, man, what's happening with these people, man. It's like their brains have been switched off completely. They just don't have the oomph, you know. They don't have the chutzpah, as the Jewish people say, the chutzpah, to carry on a very comprehensive conversation. And this can be very depressing to someone like myself who likes to fly high and very, very ultra high in these conversations and interactions. And I like to really get down to some hardcore business, asking the hard questions and discussing the tough issues of the day. And it's just very hard to find people out there like that. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm dealing with some people right now and different, like I said, different strokes for different folks, man. I'm dealing with some different people, and some say we have $1 billion on the way, and there's others who are running for U.S. Congress that I love so much. My friend, my brother, who's running for U.S. Congress, and we're working on that campaign with him. And then we have some more folks that are supposed to make some donations here to the disaster team. And I haven't seen a thing, and they haven't read any of our emails, and they keep saying that their phone don't work, and this don't work, and Microsoft don't work, and that don't work, and just excuse after excuse after excuse. I'm going to write a book of excuses, I think. I haven't figured out really how to do that yet. Miriam would probably be the best one to do that because she has so many excuses all the time. But yeah, it's just lately it's been impossible to find other entities that are able to show that they're aware of awareness and they're conscious of consciousness and that they have a sense of depth and a sense of analytical, critical thinking power. And it's just scary, man. I'm just, like I said, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I could tell you about 100 different things that are going on, and that would probably solve the problem. And, we could start out with GMOs. We could move to fluoride. We could move to mRNA technology, CRISPR technology, nanotechnology, nanobot technology, blood brain barrier technology, breaking the blood brain barrier with some of these exotic particles and nanobots and things that are changing the behavioral patterns and so forth of the avatar, changing the algorithm mastering the algorithm. Booster tomorrow or somewhere. Going to have to boost the power a little bit here. I haven't even listened to my shows. I don't even know when that little yellow sign pops up if my voice goes off or what. I don't. Marion hadn't told me. If I could get a decent producer in here, Karen's in here right now. But anyway, she says I'm good. Did you say it tastes good or I'm good? You're all good. You're coming across just fine. Coming across just fine. Yes, you are. Okay. Um, it'd be nice if we had Chris in here, but he's probably playing with his puppies or playing with his dingle donger or something, playing with his dingle. I don't know what he's doing, but a lot of things going on. Yeah, I mean, if all this stuff came true, yo, all this stuff came true. Marion and living in a mansion, and we'd have probably 500 acres and a couple of $1 million in the bank, and we'd have stores, e-stores all over the world going and selling products everywhere and doing lectures and seminars and workshops, and all my books would be selling around the world, and our show would have a couple of million people listening. But I don't know if any of that's going to happen because I don't know what these people are doing. I mean, they keep telling me all this stuff, and I keep listening and I keep waiting, and I don't I don't know when do you draw the line and just say, whatever, just whatever. I don't know. Just keep dragging people along behind the truck, and I don't know. Don't cut the rope or whatever. Do you keep listening to all this bullshit? Do you keep listening to people? I mean, Chris Collins, my co-host, he's a real deal. I mean, he's the real deal. He's out there working for some real cool stuff. But these other folks, Chris, I don't think Chris would even like them. Been promising us, they've been promising us all kinds of things for the last 10 months or so, a year, and nothing has happened. Nothing has come through. And then we have other trolls trying to infiltrate our organizational missions and so forth, and that's been a real problem. We're having to deal with them. I'm sure all of you had to have to deal with trolls and all kinds of crazy people trying to infiltrate your platforms and groups and pages and what have you, trace your emails and hack your computers and your phones. I hear about it every day. It's crazy. And that's not just the government we're talking about or the deep state. We're talking about just people in general out here gaslighting others, stalking others, whatever, hacking into their cell phones and writing scary messages. And it's just insane, man. And, then I had this guy the other night. Who's that? I got it. Who is it? I don't know. We'll see. Well, I want to know. I'm on air. They'll have to leave. Who is it? Who is it? Hello? Let me see who this is, man. I don't know who the hell this is. I really don't. Kevin? Oh, it's Kevin. Okay, it's a friend of ours. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, um, the Matrix. Man, I tell you, I had this guy come out the other night to the car. We were sitting out in the squad command unit and disaster unit, and I was talking to a friend of mine from France, and we had this drunk guy come out. We're very educated, fairly educated, I guess, and he's kind of drunk, and he was trying to and he was trying to tell me all about redemption and salvation and how wonderful this God was, this male God that he had come up with. Kept saying he, God, he. I don't know what that means. She. I don't know what that means. God is sexless. I'm sure. I don't think sex even has anything to do or gender would have anything to do with any kind of entity or any kind of substrate that might be out there somewhere. But the whole thing is, this guy was trying to save my soul, and he was trying to tell me the earth is 12,000 years old, and he was trying to tell me that Jesus was Lord and Savior, and that. And then I brought up, the Council of Nicaea, which he didn't know anything about, and I brought up Constantine, which he didn't know anything about. I brought up the Council of Rome, he didn't know anything about. I brought up the Constantinople, he didn't know anything about. I brought up the Babylonian, the Syrian, and the Sumerian, and tablets, and I brought up Trough, and I brought up, the Hebrew, the original Hebrew, the Dead Sea Scroll. He didn't know anything about. So he really just didn't know shit. And by golly, if I was going to go with his little cult, I don't think I would, because he's so uneducated. He's not able to even describe or explain what the hell he's talking about. He's trying to sell me. He doesn't really know about his product very well. And I know that his, bullshitting is just that, bullshit. And he is selling a product, which is religion. And whether he admits it or not, he's selling religion, religion, religion. God, Jesus, angels, demons, hell, blah blah blah. He didn't even know that hell doesn't exist. He doesn't even know that the all of the indicators point toward hell being just a fictional thing, or actually a place. Sheol, Hades, actually a geographical location. And the Catholic Church wanted to kind of add a little spice to all that and make people afraid that there was some kind of place they were going to go if they masturbated or whatever, or stole, and they didn't redeem themselves and give their life to Christ for forgiveness, that they would be put into this burning box of hellfire, eternal damnation, and all this kind of crazy shit. And I just tell you, man, it's stuff like this bothers me. It really does. It kind of makes me wonder. Kind of helps me to understand why the United States is in such a bad shape right now. Not to mention these other countries who have Islam and going for them, and all these other crazy religions like Mormonism and Scientology, and even Buddhism can get a little insane there. But I do love the Buddhists. I was a Buddhist. I guess I am a Buddhist. I was a Bodhisattva. Studied the Lotus Sutra, the Tibetan Book of the Dead. I've studied the Bhagavad Gita. I've studied all of these other books, like the Book of Enoch, and the Secret Book of Paul, and the Secret Book of Mary, and the Secret Book of Jesus, and where he went those 13 years. He supposedly went missing there and rode back into town on the donkey. And it's all kind of interesting and all kind of crazy. And I think anybody that's a Christian is a complete idiot, and they need to have their head examined. They need to take a hard look at themselves and really do the inner work and just realize, hey, we don't know what's going on here. We have no idea what's going on here. None whatsoever, man. We barely split the atom. We don't even know how that happened. We created the hydrogen bomb, and we created the thermonuclear bombs, and missiles and deliveries, the whole freaking planet. We got enough firepower out there right now to blow the planet in half. Thousands of thermonuclear warheads at their disposal, and we're living in the Matrix. And the Matrix, the word Matrix, by the way, folks, is kind of like the word God or Kleenex. People call different kinds of towels Kleenex. Give me a Kleenex. Give me a Kleenex. Give me a Kleenex. Whatever. I don't know. Um, they make all these words up and they use them a lot, and they really don't know what the hell they're talking about. But yeah, it's the Matrix. It's we use that word for, like, it's a substitute for God. I think sometimes, like, we're living in the Matrix, meaning that we don't really know where the hell we're living. We really don't know what's going on at all, and we really don't know how we got here, or why we exist, or if we have a purpose, or if we have free will, free choice, which I don't think we do at all. All of my research points to and indicates that we do not have any free will at all. And of course, we know that we live in the present moment. There is no past, there is no future. There is only the present moment. Have had the chance moment. Isn't that a shame? That a shame. And so the Matrix, and then we have the Metaverse. The Metaverse is coming out of the Matrix. The Metaverse is kind of popping out, manifesting, kind of a thing where with the machine, and we are the machine. So it would be the simulation, the machines in the simulation, the avatars in the simulation melding with the Borg, becoming the cyborg and being plugged into the machine. And of course, people are already living over there, mostly gamers right now, living the metaverse, all day long and sometimes all night long for days and days and days, and take a little break to eat a Twinkie or whatever. And you can do all kinds of things over there in the metaverse, even though it hasn't gone so well for Mark Zuckerberg. It's still out there, and it's getting better and better and better, and it's getting ready to make some major changes and take off those stupid VR glasses and just put a little chip in your brain, and boom, you're in the metaverse, man. You're like gone, baby, gone. You cease to kind of exist here in this part of the simulation. You'll move to another part of the simulation, kind of in other worlds theory or string theory or multi-worlds theory, multiverse theory, multiverse hypothesis rather. You'll be living in this alternate universe, which we're living in an alternate universe now. Hello, hello, yes, we're living in an alternate universe now, and we have come from and probably stemmed from and been around or been in multi universes in some way, shape, form, or fashion at some other moment in time. So, very complex stuff. And of course, to be able to just kind of have this chip put in your brain and be able to access Google or DeepMinds and the whole thing that goes with it, GPT 5, 6, 7, 8, having your brain running all of a sudden at one or two, three, 4 billion, quintillion perimeters per second, just like boom, 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 everybody becomes the smartest avatar in the universe. And then what? And then what do we do? I don't know. How's that going to look? How's that going to feel? Man, that's a rush. That's a rush to even think about something so absurd. Uh, People, all of a sudden you're sitting in your chair at home watching TV and eating some popcorn, and the next thing you know, you're a gazillion, bazillion miles away, light years away, in some other multiverse, talking to your friends over there in the multiverse. And, they've got a computer program out there now where they can actually take a picture of your face and your voice rhythm, tone, volume, inflection, so forth, and make an avatar, create an avatar, put it in the metaverse, and then there you boom, there you are. And then operating that straw man, I guess, or that whatever manifests over there, you're operating it somehow from your mind into the computer simulation within a simulation, and then I don't know what happens from there. I know that there are people buying land, they're buying property in the metaverse, they're buying ranches, and they're buying villas, and they're doing all kinds of stuff over there, and it's working for different kinds of people with different kinds of projects. And of course, money. It takes money to build a metaverse. You could build a metaverse for 200 to $400,000, or maybe even $20,000 to $400,000, depending on the complexity and the bandwidth and the power needed and so forth. You could build your own metaverse, and then you could probably meld that metaverse with other metaverses. And I've got a feeling, honestly, I do, from all my research, I've got a strong feeling that there are going to be like gang wars in the metaverse. You're going to have like different cultures, different groups, different things going on, with different tribes in the metaverse, and people are going to come together and they're going to be fighting. They're going to have boundaries. Well, boundaries. They're going to have water. Wars. Turf wars in the metaverse. Like you came into this part of the land, I can't go into that part of the land. Blah blah. We'll get more wars. We'll create more technologically advanced weapons in the metaverse, and we'll be able to back and forth, and nobody still interesting now when you play some of these in the metaverse. You're running your player in there, and you get points for this, for that, and you gather weapons and tools and first aid equipment and prepper equipment. You run through the woods and run through the towns and cities, and you get killed eventually, and then boom, you're gone. But yet you're back. You're gone, and then back you're back. It's kind of like one of those race car things at the arcade where you're racing, and your car just bam hits a wall and boom spins around, turns over, and then boom, you're back. You're right back in the race again. So it's kind of like that. It's like you'll never die in the metaverse. And they're even talking, this is absurd. They're literally talking about, like overloading. I call it overloading your brain into the metaverse and utilizing a non local mind to operate that system where it's perpetual and ongoing throughout infinity. I mean, you could live in there forever if you wanted to, literally. And if you got killed in there or something, you just come back. You reincarnate through the through the quantum system, through the algorithm, and you reanimate into the game again and again and again and again and again and again. And then I guess if you choose not to, I guess you could choose not to come back into the game and just be erased altogether and never exist again. So that's kind of what I came to talk about tonight is this matrix thing, this whole idea of the matrix and the blue purple pill, red pill, and all these other pills, and Morpheus and Neo and the matrix, and how all of that works with the agents and so forth. If you'll notice, the agents in the matrix are like the agents we have now with AGI, artificial general intelligence and machine learning, and GPT-5, and then we have the agents working for us. Mary's actually agents, and they work pretty well. Well, they're not pretty well; they work perfect. And she's able to do all these wonderful things, powerful things with these agents. And of course, GPT knows pretty much everything in the universe, so you could just go in there and tell GPT to build this and build that and do this and do that and create this and create that, and boom, bang, bam, it's done within a half hour. And it's bam, you're I don't know, you're not rich. We haven't gotten rich yet, but we're doing all these powerful things, and we're not really sure how to plug it all into the bank yet. And we're that's why I wanted to build a Super 7, which nobody has come in and asked about, really. Nobody has. People are so dumb. People are so damn stupid. I wanted to build the Super 7 where we could all kind of ferret through these things, kind of navigate our way through these complex. Well, now that we have all this super duper technology, that's above and beyond our wildest dreams and comprehension. How do we use this to plug into the bank and get some currency flowing there to our bank account or to our digital account or whatever, Bitcoin or your preference might be. Marion and I are right now, and it makes me want to. But literally, what I'm talking about makes me want to have a meeting with her, like as soon as I get off the show, because I'm coming up with ideas as we speak. It's like the first idea is, why the hell are we not plugged into the bank already? And I'm going to kick her ass when I get off air. We're going to have a fight probably. It won't be physical, but it'll definitely be verbal fight. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You have all this technology at your fingertips. You're pretty well God, and omnipotent and omnipresent, and you have all these technological things going on at your fingertips, and yet you can't plug into the fucking bank. You've got 1,000 products, or 10 million products at your disposal, and you can't sell a fucking dime's worth of shit in a month. What's wrong with that picture? I want to know what's wrong with that. I really do want to know. I'm sure most of you out there are dumb as a box of rocks. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Some of you do know what I'm talking about, and I'm sure some of you are embarrassed that you're going through the same thing we're going through. But I'm getting really fucking fed up with all this shit, and I want to know why, with all of this top gun technology and all of these agents and bots and all of this other stuff going on, you can't plug into the fucking had made $10 in 5 years, advanced equipment in the universe, and she still hadn't made $10. And I hope she's crying right now, hanging her head down, having a temper tantrum, because it's crazy. It's insane. It's just fucking insane. Totally insane that someone has all of this at their disposal and they're broke. Or they're not broke, but you're not making any money. You're not bringing in any passive income. You're not doing shit. You're not selling a beanie weenie box. You're not selling jelly beans. You're not doing, what are you doing? Nothing. I hope she feels so bad right now that she melts like the Wicked Witch of the West on Ghost. That witch that melted into the floor and does that. I hope she's thinking, what the hell am I do to plug into the damn bank? I got all these pretty pictures and all this pretty stuff I'm writing, and it's all pretty and it moves and everything, and it's all graphically perfect and beautiful, but I'm not making a fucking dime. I don't know. Why? What's going on with that? And then I got people telling me we got a radio station. There's going to be millions of people listening to us. That's Chris Collins. If you're listening, Chris, let's get that damn radio station open, man. Let's get going, dude. What are you doing? I'm ready to rock and roll, man. Damn. Get that $1 billion in the bank. Let's go to fucking Dubai, man, and party. Let's do something, man. Make some changes here. I'm in Dumbsville. I'm in Dumbsville here. It's crazy. Sometimes I feel like I'm in that movie that what's his name? That comedian made. Whatever Ville it was, where he was running around in that little crazy town, and then Liar Liar. Just all this stuff. It is a movie. I mean, this is a movie. We're in a movie, and we're playing out a script, and I really think we do have some leeway as to which way we go within the script. Even though I think that's programmed also, I think that's a part of the algorithm also to kind of give you the feeling of free will. Not that the substrate would offer that in the algorithm, but it just happened that way along with the Goldilocks situation, the planets as they're lined up astronomically and astrophysically and cosmologically. Everything's kind of lined up perfectly, and the math kind of lines up with the physics, and the physics lines up with the math, and the geometry, and the trigonometry, and so forth. And all of the advanced calculations that we make in symbology and numerology all comes together to kind of fit perfectly, which is kind of scary. It kind of makes you wonder what the hell is going on with this. Is the math running the program, or is the program running the math? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Which came first, the math or the fucking manifestation of this elusive and delusional thing we call reality, which is not material and physical at all, but just energy, vibration, and frequency. And of course, everything runs on frequency. So even your voice, my voice now is running at a certain frequency, 521, 428, et cetera, whatever, whatever. And then, of course, we have Rife technology. And I don't forget, I'm going back to where we were earlier, but Rife technology deals with frequency modulation and simulation, frequency attenuation and frequency simulation and frequency balance and sync. And frequency changes in the organs of the body bring healing. And that Rife technology's kind of been put on the back burner for a long time, but they are selling Rife machines around the world, which are kind of interesting. Um, I find out also today you can take a bath in baking soda and salt and remove toxins from the body along with radiation, certain kinds of radiation on the alpha, beta, gamma, theta scale, depending on the dose of radiation and the actual source of radiation and where it came from. So, is it gamma or whatever, beta or whatever? But baking soda and salt, yeah, great, wonderful. And then we hear all of these other natural remedies that aren't being pushed in the medical community because of big pharma pisses me off. What is pharmacology? Why do we even have pharma fucking allergy? Is because of barons and the elite came up with this wonderful idea when they developed oil and petroleum to start making these pills and running them off the assembly and this shit together in the laboratory and then cranking these things out and then selling them to people and making everybody high as a freaking kite and getting everybody hooked on pharmacopoeia and pharmacological drugs and, addicted to benzodiazepines and heroin and cocaine and meth and crack and ecstasy and all this other shit, heroin, and it's just crazy. We were talking last night, people that we see up here, avatars that we see up here, entities, agencies, the beings that we see up here, they're either high, they're drunk, or they're just plain stupid, or they're a criminal, they're a thief, they're violent, they're angry, they're depressed, they're broken, they're mixed up, they're confused. It's all insane. I don't see how Mary and I are not one of those avatars. I don't know how that happened. I think it's because of me. I don't think it's because of her, because if it was because of her, she would have stayed with her first husband, which was a complete fucking idiot. And she would have been an idiot and eventually left him with her idiot brother, and they would have all become idiots together. And God only knows where she would be. God saying, God, whoever she is or whatever it is, I don't know where she would be. And what has she learned from me today? Well, I don't know. Probably not a whole lot to write home to mom about because she's not rich yet. I'm not rich yet. So something's not right. I smell something stinky in the apple box, but we're going to fish this thing out one way or the other. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And most of you out there that know me know that I will do it. I will fucking figure it out. It might be a little diabolical and it might be a little weird and it might be a little twisted and it might be a little strange and dystopic, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it to you. And I'm going to tell you that I'm going to do it to you before you do it. And you're going to let me do it. How you like that? You like that? That's pretty wild, isn't it? I've been that way all my life. For all of you who can't see me, I'm having a drink of my Dr. Pepper. But, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's just a matter of time. I haven't sat down with Mary. We haven't have variables, data points now, and research done and technology at our disposal to go ahead and put something together to plug into the bank. It's not going to be that hard. If I have to sell fucking dildos, I'll do it. If I have to sell vibrating butt plugs, I'll do it. Whatever I have to do, if I have to sell pictures of my butt, I'll do it. I'm going to prove to everybody that we can do it. We will do it. Okay. Are actionable. We believe in action. We don't believe in just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, over and over and over. You just talk your fucking self into the grave, You got to, at some point in time, uh, you got to hop in the ring with Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson or whatever, you got to hop in the freaking ring, man, and put on the gloves, hop in the ring and duke it out. You got to do it. You got to face off with this country club that George Carlin says you'll never become a member of, you know, because it's so hard to get in. I've talked to some folks and I've listened to some videos about Davos and I've talked to some pretty high profile people that were invited to Davos and they refused. Terrence McKenna was one of those. I think Dennis McKenna was another. Very few people get invited to Davos, and I've also talked to a few other folks that was invited. I think Joe Rogan might have been invited. You don't get invited into this country club unless you are ultra rich, ultra smart, and it's not about good looks and all that and personality. It's about your bloodline. It's about your intelligence, and it's about your narrative. And are you on the right? Are you on the left? Are you willing to extort people and rape and maim and murder and molest people? Are you willing to give up all of your morality and principles and just run on pure fucking bang 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 bang? Bang them up. Okay, so I haven't been invited to Davos yet, but I would probably go tomorrow if I got invited. You know, I've been in some of those places. I've been in some clandestine operations and I've done some crazy things, so it wouldn't scare me a bit to run with those folks at Davos back in the destination again. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let me go back. I've been with folks who graduated to Davos and Switzerland there, and they went to the, Davos. They joined the World Economic Forum, and I didn't graduate with them. They graduated, didn't. I had a chance to go to Nashville, Grand Ole Opry. I didn't. I had a chance to be a movie star. I didn't. Uh, had a chance to be a famous country singer just on the circuit. I didn't. And I chose other paths, which is, it's okay. It's did. I chose paths, and I could probably still get to Davos. I could probably still run some extra field operations. I could probably still be a country singer, star, whatever, even if it was only for a moment in time. But, I just haven't put my mind to it. I think I've gotten lazy over the years. I think I've gotten lazy, and I think I'm looking out at all these other stupid fucking moronic avatars sitting around wasting their fucking time banging out all this shit and putting out all this energy and stuff and getting absolutely fucking shit sandwiches in return for it and just eating a bunch of shit sandwiches and doing absolutely nothing because they don't know what they're fucking doing and they don't know why they're even doing it. And I've got somebody online here with me. I don't know who it is. It's probably Chris. But anyway, you got people out here that talk, and they never get shit done. And then you've got these trolls out there I was talking about today. We talked to a troll. We had to contact someone. Chris knows about this. I had to tell someone to cease and desist. And I think if Chris is still messing with them, I'll have to tell him to cease and desist. But, people that are just going out using other people's to make deals and borrow money, and they're homeless and they're running around. Well, they look like a fucking wino. They need to shave and cut their fucking hair and take a bath, and they're running around using other people's name when they're not supposed to. They're impersonating people. They're it's fraud is what it is. It's fraud. And I hope we put a stop to this today. I just got out of a meeting about this, and if it it's gonna be stopped. It is going to be stopped. I mean, look, popping names is a good thing, man, if you have permission. Dudes and dudettes, listen to me. And dudettes, if you're gonna fucking use somebody's name, make sure you have fucking permission and make sure you're in with those people and you know what the hell they're doing and why they're doing it. You know, don't just go out there like an idiot off homeless guy running around saying that you're the consultant for this majesty and this king and that queen and you're doing this and you're doing that when you ain't doing shit but defrauding people and lying to people and extorting people, you know, and going out and doing all shit I'm talking about and what I'm talking about. And if this shit doesn't stop, I'm going to have to go whoop somebody's ass. You've heard the song, whoop somebody's ass. Well, it's about time. And, if Chris runs around with that person we're talking about, I'll have to whoop his ass or we'll whoop each other's ass or somebody will fall off the fucking porch because this person just a dick. And dicks out there that are doing this kind of shit, riding on other people's intelligence, riding on other people's name, riding on other people's reputation, and then lying about it, and then not telling the person that you're using their name. That is really dirty, man. Let me tell you, that is fucking dirty, man. Just dirty, you know. Chris, you know who I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about, dude?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. And the one thing that
Well, he was sent a cease.
I've done is when I saw something that was happening,
He
is I
was sent.
shared it with the person that it was being talked to.
Yeah, well, I shared
Do
all
what?
of it and went behind the scenes and hacked into his shit. And he's using your name and my name and you know whose name, which I'm not going to mention here. And he's saying all kinds of crazy shit, making up all kinds of crazy shit that is nothing but lies after lies and running guy running around with all these big CEOs putting his arm around him. I don't know. I give the guy credit. Have to give the guy credit for some kind of weird, fucking, strange, twisted genius. But he could do it differently and say, Chris, I need your permission and Kyler's permission to say so, see, so, some. Can I come into y'all's group in your inner circle and work with you in so and so and so and so and so? And if not, I'll just do my own fucking thing and I won't use your name, Chris, or Kyler's name, or you know who, Doctor Who's name, and I'll just do my own fucking thing. But what he's doing is he's doing a criminal act. He's committing fraud. Okay, go ahead, Chris.
Well, that's the part. I was sharing what I saw with the people that it's being written about, and I haven't had that discussion. We're actually having a little bit of it right now, but I haven't had that discussion
Yeah.
On, is this real? Is this being made up? And
Oh
and
yeah, it's
and being
real.
No, I
Oh
know it's
yeah, I've
real.
got.
I know it
I mean,
happened. I'm not saying that. I'm saying is this person behind it? This person, this person, this person, this person, this person, and all these killer things that are going on. Are they truly going
yeah,
on?
yeah,
That's just the
yeah,
other
yeah. We got
question
the
where I
pictures.
still haven't had that.
We got, here's the deal. We got the pictures of this idiot with his arm around some big fucking
I
CEOs,
I
unshaven,
know. I know
hadn't
what you
taken a
saw.
bath in a
I know
fucking
what you
week,
saw.
and using your name and Doctor Who's name and my name and a bunch of other names and lying and then borrowing $20 or $30 from him before he leaves the meeting. God, yeah, oh my God.
Well, see, that's a comment that I haven't heard, but all the rest of it I know. Okay, I've seen the pictures. I've seen those things.
Yeah,
But the part that I did, like I said, is I sent it to the people that are being written about and said, "Hey, let's talk
me
about
too.
this
Me too. And I
because
just got
I
off the
want to
phone
know
with
how."
him.
That was the whole thing,
He sent him
right?
a cease and desist. He sent him a heavy handed cease and fucking desist order about 2 hours ago. Which
Okay,
is
well,
plain.
that's like I said, that's something that is news to me. I needed to know. I wanted to know, and um, but again, I still want to have a conversation with us that are all involved, basically, that is being said about. Because it's not that we can't make those things happen that's being said. It's just whether or not we have to do it with the person that's saying them. So
Right. Like I
that's the
said,
other part.
I wouldn't look, dude. I am so forgiving. I am so forgiving, dude. If he would just come to you and I and I'm willing to go with you guys and I want to be in this thing and I'm sorry and I apologize for doing all these things that you've got on record of me doing that are fraudulent, extortion, lying, sociopathic, narcissist kind of psychosis behavior. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I just want to be with you guys out, and I'll do whatever I can to learn from y'all and to give you my input. That would be fine, dude. I would forgive him in the morning, dude. You know?
Yeah, and I could see that actually happening. Um, I could see all of that because the one thing that, like I said, I wanted to talk to the people that everything was, and then I want to say, did you actually agree to this? are, are we
Yeah.
doing this? Is this, as long as that all going, because we do have something that is integratable that we are doing right there, and the integrity part behind each of those people and the statement that would be made, there has to be some kind of basis behind it. I don't think that it would all be said that these people were doing these things and not doing these things at all. So I haven't, which we will, right? We'll have our off air discussion. So
Well,
I
we're
do
having an
think
on
that
air.
you'll get not on air. No, hell no. I said we're going to have our off air
I
discussion
know. I'm
with
saying
the
we're
people.
speaking in code though to our audience because they're having things happening to them and email about it. Okay, we're speaking in code. We're not mentioning
Right.
any names. Okay, listen
We
to me,
are. We
dude.
are. We are. That's right.
And if if you do this, look, this guy, this particular troll, okay, he can fuck this whole thing up if he's exposed. He can fuck the whole fucking campaign up and your shit up and my shit up into this thing with this crazy nut. He gets exposed by the wrong key person in our group for all of the bullshit and all of the lying and cheating that he's done. We're all fucked. We could all be fucked. You understand that, right?
Well, that's the part we're not going to be into anything that's lying and cheating on anything. That's why
Yeah,
I want to talk to the reputable people that is in the list, and what we do does not dictate what anything other than what we're saying we're doing.
right,
And
right.
all of those people that are in the list, we know that we truly are there. We have each other to do something with, but we now
Do
have to
each
have that
other.
conversation.
Do each other. I like that. Do each other.
Do each other,
we're
right? All right. Uh,
we're doing each other all right.
yeah.
We're all out.
Reach
Oh fuck.
around, all around.
We need to get
All
rid of
right.
these people that are trying to do us. I mean, you and I have been done so much, Chris. I don't know, man. If we can take any more, right?
Hey, man. I
Fucking
I
big time.
got tired of being. I thought that if I gave things away, it would be appreciated. But people don't appreciate nothing they get for free.
No,
Nothing.
no,
They do not
no.
appreciate it. Not one
You have
bit.
to charge them.
So
You have to
I
charge
I
them. Yeah,
stopped that. I had to learn
yeah,
that, but I
yeah,
learned it, and and now I've went from nonprofit to profit. I am the founder of
yeah.
a nonprofit, and
Well, me
that's
too.
fine. That's what I
Yeah,
am. I'm the founder
yeah.
of that profit, and now that nonprofit, and I have an executive director,
Hmm.
and that CEO is about to take and flip this thing all on up on its head because he knows business, and he has business that will support everything that we're doing in every way that we're doing it, and do it so simply. Because what I liked is the show. I was doing a radio show this morning, the one that I do there in Florida, and we're talking about building 100 houses over the next 6 months. that's
Hmm.
that's one house every 2 days,
Yeah,
and we'll have a little over 100 homes in 6 months. Now, that's building three houses over a 6 day period.
yeah.
Now, if we and we're you're going to have a radio show tomorrow. We're actually doing a show in the morning. It's the first time we're doing a weekend show, but I we do have airtime on the weekend, so we're going to start firing it up. Maybe we might even fire up our stuff
Yeah.
and 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 do it even harder,
Hmm.
because right now we come across something today. Memorial Day in 1986, they did Hands Across America. Now, I
Hmm.
mentioned
I
this way
remember.
in the past.
Yeah.
Now I want to do a Hands Up America, or Hands Up to the World, because my my
Wouldn't that mean
nonprofit
surrender?
got, huh? No, no. Well, it ain't surrender. It's just saying I'm able,
Wouldn't that
because
mean
you're able to
surrender?
hold your palm up. But what my thought was is a satellite picture shooting straight down on the earth, down at America, and all you see is people in every county across America holding their hands up. Now, by doing that, that means we're reaching people that they couldn't reach in 1986.
Hmm.
They didn't have the internet. We
Hmm.
have the internet. We have a
Hmm.
way, and we have platforms, and we have all this stuff that can broadcast and market and get to people, and get them all to do something. Now, this one movement. The other part that I was going to say is, my nonprofit here during the Maui situation, through Apple Mountain Music, they have gave us permission to do a remake of Over the Rainbow.
Mhm.
And now, to me, we're going to see, you know, almost every color and nationality doing this. But the one color you're going to see that has in
Mhm.
connection with each is those pink palms. I don't care how dark or how light or how yellow or how red your skin is. When you flip it over and you show this, that right, you ain't got to touch each other because we already know they don't want to. So I'm
Mhm.
not asking people to do hands across America. I'm not telling them to put hands up. And if they
Yeah.
do it, we're going to know that we're hitting the messages, right? So
Yeah.
that is a
Yeah.
movement. We're
Yeah.
starting it tomorrow. So
Well,
letting you know.
I'm still going to rag on all of you, and I know you've got some of your people probably listening, sneaking in, but knowing it, and I've got people in. We got a whole lot of platforms going here, casting. But I still say there's going to be a time when we're going to have to tribe up. We're going to have to make a decision to tribe up and say, okay, this is the God deal. Everybody else is in the outer circle, and we're doing our shit in the inner circle to benefit those in the outer circle. And we're making profit, and we're donating money, and we're making money and progress, and we're healing and helping others, and we're doing all these wonderful things and fulfilling our visions and dreams together. But we're doing it as a coalition, and this is something that you still haven't digested. It's going to have to be because of the changes in structure and infrastructure of the financial, economic, infrastructural, philosophical, psychosocial paradigm is changing so vastly that we're going to have to tribe up. We're going to have to build a Cosa Nostra, a mini Cosa Nostra. Okay, Marion's saying yes, and I got an audience here saying hell yeah, that's right. And if Chris doesn't agree with that, keep running by the seat of your fucking pants. Like, okay, I'm working with Bill and Sally over here, and Bob over here, and Jim over here, and Dickhead over here, and I don't know over here what's going on. At some point, we're gonna have to. You may not even be in the group. I don't know. At some point, we're gonna have to determine if you're not with us, you're against us. I mean, maybe seven of us, it may be eight of us, it may be 13 of us. I don't know, but it probably won't be no more than eight of us that do this. Okay, and we don't even have to tell people that we're the king. It's just operating that way. We're exchanging information like you and I do now on a very covert level and overt level and public level, private level, and even secret level. But there's going to come a time when we're going to pick some very specific, intelligent, motivated, high skilled, educated, passionate individuals who can be loyal and trustworthy to the tribe. Like Elon Musk has his inner circle, Joe Rogan has his inner circle, Nate has his inner circle. Uh, you know, we're going to have to do that. And I think you still haven't got that.
Well, no, I've got that. I get that. That inner circle makes a world of difference. But yeah, I also realize, I mean, I do have an inner circle because I have to have one. I have to have one. I want it to grow. I want it to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But at the same time,
Well, why am
we're
I not
dealing
in
with
your
people that
inner
I don't ever
circle?
have
You're
a
in
thought
my inner
for,
circle.
and
Why
I
am
don't
I
know
not
how
in?
they're going to think. Good.
Well, everybody's asking me, and
You are in my inner circle. You personally are in my inner circle. Me and you talk. Now, the one thing
uh
about
huh.
that is when I've introduced you to people. You're doing things. You're working every day toward things that I've introduced you to. So I know that that you're in that inner circle. You know, that part of it is there. The one part is we're working on how can can it be a conversation without someone looking like they're an ignorant ass because they don't know this. You know what I mean? So it comes down to when I take a genius to the table, I need the genius to dumb it down. I
Mm-hmm.
need that part of it go. You know where I'm at. You know what we're doing. You
Mm-hmm.
know as well as I do. We're here on a talk show right now.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a disagreement show. This is a talk show.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
disagree just because
Mm-hmm.
it's you and me, right?
Well,
But
a lot
the
of my
funny part
audience, a lot of
is
our audience,
everybody out
a
there
lot of our
thinks
audience, a lot of our audience is commenting. They know you, they know me, they know a lot of things, especially my Anon people and my, Q, my Q Anon people and my real Q Anon and my real Anon. And they think that you are jealous, either jealous or afraid to let me be myself around others, and you want me to conform to a
oh, I'm
certain
afraid as
narrative
hell.
in order
I
to,
I will admit,
kiss
just here
ass,
we'll
kiss
get it real
ass,
clear for all your
kiss
people.
ass. Yeah, let's do
we
that.
we will we we'll get it clear for everybody.
Uh huh.
Damn right, I'm afraid to unleash this man's mouth to anybody at any given moment, and don't know what the hell's liable to come out of it on him. In not saying
Mm-hmm.
he's going to come at it in a bad way, but people are going to perceive things that he does say in a bad way, and they're
Uh
not
huh.
going to like it. How many
Uh
people
huh.
make it on this show? Exactly. This is
Mm-hmm.
why things have to be handled in a different way with this man,
Mm-hmm.
Kyler, on any day. That's what I know. I will not do that in no fucking way, shape, or form. Your Cora,
Mm-hmm.
A Cora, B Cora, all Cora, y'all Cora need to listen. I'm not that person. I will be be that protective of the conversation because when I make a relationship, I'm making one for a 30-year like a mortgage. I'm not here just
Right.
for us to do something today and I take your money and you go away. Fuck you and I don't
Right.
ever want to see you again. No, I
Right.
want your money to come back and see me again. You
Don't you
know,
think
that's,
that's
or
a
you know
little
what I mean? If I'm in
manipulative?
business, that's the way.
Don't Let me ask you a question and see if you can answer honestly.
All right.
Don't you believe that what you're saying, and I'm getting comments here from around the different platforms, don't you believe that's a little bit manipulative faced to hide me out as a genius and be afraid to say something to someone to piss them off or upset them, or if they're too ultra sensitive, they'll leave or whatever. And you're afraid to just unleash my whole goddamn, lioness genius personality on this whole goddamn country, group, wwhatever.
Well, the thing is, man, we're talking about a human avatar here of
Well, there's no
this
such thing as a
generation.
human avatar.
All
There's
right, well,
avatars,
damn. All right, I just
an
screwed up.
avatar.
Listen, we're talking about avatars here.
Okay, yeah.
All right, let me get that straight. Sorry, let me
Okay,
get that straight. All right,
okay.
I've been real good about not calling us that H word. Um,
Human. That
the
means monster. Monster.
yeah,
Monster.
it really is. And now we're talking about these monsters out there. Yep, talking about all of you listening because
Hmm.
that is the definition of what you say you are. Okay,
Well, let me
now
ask you this.
what is the
Along with Doctor
definition?
Who. Oh,
What?
listen. No, wait a minute. If I get along with the prime ministers of the world and the Bobby Kennedys of the world and the Doctor Who's of the world, and I'm in these particular high ranking, much higher than you're in, types of conversations and classified intel and clandestine operations and working in certain countries to install certain people as presidents and bring in other high level officials and intelligence agencies, and I work with all of these high level intelligence agencies. Why, are you going to use me for that? Are you glad that I have that? And
No,
if I can handle
wait a
these, no,
minute. Here you go. Let me just. I'm
wait a
going to
minute.
pull the brake on you. I'm going to pull the brake on you. I'm the one that put you in
If I
that
can handle
position,
these
sir.
people,
Stop. Hang on. I just said let me pull the brake on you. Let me answer you.
you
I'm
put
the
me in that
one that
position.
put you in the position to be where you are, talking to those people, doing the things you're fucking doing. So don't tell it and don't twist it. Just talk about it. Let's get things moving in the right way. You're there because of me. Figure that out. And if I didn't put you in the
there, but
circle, you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't be there and you wouldn't be running that circle. So settle down,
well, if
learn
I
that
would have said
genius, and then let me
something,
know when my
if I
genius
would have
figures
said
out that your genius knows where to put you.
if I would have said something out of the way all this time, and a long time, if I would have said something the least bit out of the way with the sensitive
Sir, I had you in a meeting that I wanted
cultures
you to
that
meet
we're
people,
dealing
and the
with,
man said that he got baptized and the whole damn thing went south. So don't tell me that it won't happen.
I talk to Doctor Who about his fucking seven virgins all the time, and we get along just fine, motherfucker. Go
I
figure.
know, motherfucker. I'm just
Go figure
telling
that
you
out.
how people are and what you
Oh,
did
he's a
and what you said afterwards and what you
mangina.
didn't want to
Well, he's
do.
angina. I can't help it. I would if your little disaster
All
got
right. Well,
mangina and a
guess
simp and
what?
a
There's a
fucking
lot of them out
Christian.
there.
Fuck him. Fuck him.
Hey, I listen. You're just wanting an example, brother. I'm just bringing one up.
Well, as long
I
as you
gave you
write,
one.
look,
So
I'll
if
write
people
you
in
a
your
check.
Cora need to listen and understand,
I'll
you're a
write you a
genius
check.
in your own way, and I'm a genius in mine. So
Yeah,
I
we
know
are.
when to
We
do
are.
what I need to do, and when I
Yeah, I
do it,
know.
it is intentional, and it
Well,
will be done to that point.
it's a good kind of manipulation and coercion that you're doing, and I'm listening to my core group right now. It's a good kind of manipulation and coercion that you and I have taught before, or I have, and you've come in on this teaching with me that when we get together with people, we're always manipulating, we're always coercing, we're even twisting the truth a little bit sometime to make things more synchronistic, and we're following the narrative, even though we may not agree with the narrative sent, we still want that fucking check. So that's what my Quora group wants you to admit.
Now they want me to admit what about a check?
That you have to sometimes twist the narrative and kind of follow narratives that you don't necessarily agree with. Or if you're talking to someone that's kind of stupid, but they got a lot of fucking money and they got some good ideas, but they're negative, like your guy that got baptized. Sometimes I, Kiler Davenport, would have to say, "Oh, praise the Lord, that's great. Oh, you're
Yeah,
wonderful.
no.
Thank you. Yes, bless you, my son. Bless you, my son. Bless you, my son." Yeah. So it's
Here's how I handle a
bullshit. You
situation
have to
for your core
bullshit
group,
people.
for anybody that
Yeah.
when it comes down to it. Here's how I handle the situation. It's not my job to
Yeah.
judge you on that part of you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to pass judgment on you. Do I need to be quiet for a moment so you can do what you need to do? Yep, I will. Right there with you. I'm there. I'm there just because that you're
Yeah.
unique. You're
Yeah.
an individual that's unique, like every other person on the earth. They're all unique. There ain't two of the same. So
Yeah.
I'm
Some of
I'm
them are
here
retarded. Some of
to
them are
learn.
morons, and
Uh,
some of them are fucking
fuck yeah,
queers
man.
and
Fuck
are
most of them.
transhumanistic.
m-
Some of them are
Right,
drunk
and
and
most of
fucked up.
them have a
Yeah.
closed mind. Most of
Yeah.
them have a closed mind. I don't want to call and label them nothing else
They
except
do.
for not open minded. You don't
Well,
have.
Cora's loving
You
you now.
can't
Cora's loving you
see.
now. Cora gets it now. Cora's loving you now. They understand now
Okay.
what you're saying. You're they get it. They
All
get
right.
it. We're working together covertly in several different avenues. I'm reading this. We're working together in a multidisciplinary kind of way, and we're still all trying to head toward the same vision and dream, the same goal, going down the same path, ways and overt ways to get to the same conclusion or the same successful end to whatever we're trying to do. So we're doing whatever we have to do, saying whatever we have to say, and acting in whatever way we have to act in order to become successful and close the fucking deal. Look at that, Chris. Chris.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
Yeah,
Um,
makes sense. Makes perfect
the
sense. Makes perfect sense.
It does, right?
I mean,
Because
I
that's the
mean, you know,
thing. We all have a part to play. There's no part too small. We need them all. So if you
yeah,
think that you ain't nothing, I promise you, I can find something. And I guarantee that I'll find something you will enjoy. If you
yeah,
have no joy in your life and you just think the world sucks, let's have a talk.
yeah,
Because I guarantee there's something you haven't thought. But I might think of it and I might say it.
yeah.
I might be able to encourage it. I might be able to actually make it come true because people
By the
don't
way,
believe until they
I'm
see.
not. By the way, I'm not a full time asshole. Okay, my Quora group will tell you, and my other graduate students will tell you that I help a lot of people, and Marion and I bless a lot of people, and we bring a lot
Oh,
of
you
folks
do.
together in broken relationships, and we take care of a lot of people from an emergency medical standpoint, from a long term trauma care standpoint, from a hospice standpoint, senior citizens, working with veterans yesterday, all last week. So, you have to really think deep when you're making these conversations with me about me. And other people. About me to other people, you have to say, this individual is so goddamn smart. He breaks the fucking ceiling, but he could be a real fucking dick. A real fucking dick, like Elon Musk.
I'll tell you what, man. There is not a person that has ever met you that can't say that came from me that can't say or even come on this show or even listen to this show
Yeah,
that I'm like, don't take the shit personal. And if you do, maybe it is because maybe that might be you.
yeah.
And if and he's not gonna because you don't do it to me. I mean, you don't sugarcoat shit. They're not that person. And I
Hmm.
don't want you to be. Okay. I don't. But the one thing that I have seen
No,
you
I'll
do, and
leave that up to you.
we've already talked about it, is
Yeah,
is we're getting more into the talk show
right.
that we want to be. And
Yeah, and people are learning from us.
it's us having these conversations, these confrontations in these conversations that make it so much better on the way we're going to handle this
Well,
tomorrow with someone else.
graduates,
Because
both the graduates, Aura, and my psychosocial behavioral science groups, and all say that this is one of the most informative, in depth, comprehensive goddamn interactions that they have ever encountered in talk radio.
well, I appreciate it if that's what they're saying because which I I don't see none of that stuff. And so
Well, we
anybody
don't
that
bullshit, see, on this show. We don't
we
bullshit on
don't.
this show.
We
We
don't.
don't
And
bullshit.
we might start talking some shit, but we're talking crap because what we're talking about really stinks. And it's what the world's
Yeah.
doing, it's what people are doing to other people. It's decisions that are being made without you being the one making those decisions. It's choices that are taken away from you before you had a choice to choose. So I you know like I said, I like having the conversations we have about some of the crazy shit that we do talk about because it's things that no one talks about.
Well, I don't think you would be here if you were sad or hated me or didn't like me or thought I was crazy or dumb or ignorant or just full of shit. I don't think you would have hung around this long, would you?
No, sir. Uh, I would not. Um, I get challenged. All right, I challenge myself. I challenge myself to be better today than I was yesterday. Now I judge myself and see if I did that. So every day I have a new challenge. And it sucks because
Hmm.
I don't know who I'm going to talk to and what I'm liable to say to anybody and how they're going to react to me and then how am I going to take that and how am I going to dish it back. So I battle with conversations with people in every realm, and I have conversations
No,
with people that are huh.
I think you're much better at tickling people than I am. I don't tickle people. I think you're good at tickling people and going along with the narrative. I'm an open book. I'm an open book motherfucker. I'm rubber meets the fucking road, man.
Well, I think
You know,
I get that. And I'm actually I'm the motherfucker I'm the road, because I'm already fucking sitting there waiting for the rubber to be laid down. Let's rock it, man. Let's go. And
yeah,
I'll make sure that your tires stick good, and you're gonna get some lift when that coming front tires come off the ground.
yeah.
Um, that
When
you know that's me. I and that's the part. I have a part to play. My part's not Kyler Davenport's part. Kyler Davenport has another part to play, and he brings and
yeah.
challenges me every day. I do
Do you
not get an
realize?
update, and you can tell the truth right here of what we're going to talk about or what we're going to do. I don't have no clue before the show starts on what I'm going to talk about, but
Yeah.
I'm willing to
You
have a
know,
conversation because I'm open
you
minded
know,
enough.
you know how many PhDs that I have run off this fucking show. They've just given up. They've like a debate, like a chess game, master chess game. They've been like, I can't even say anything else because you covered all of it. I mean, you've gone beyond the goddamn theory and the hypothesis. I don't know where do you come from? You know, what fucking are you road? I mean, what the fuck? You know, so it's like I'm ready. I'm prepared, man. I'm advising dignitaries right now. My voice is being spoken. I'm not going to say that you already know. My voice is being spoken from some of the most elite, powerful people in the world, including someone I can't talk about over the wall and over the other wall. And, I mean, I'd be careful if I were you how you approach this whole situation. Uh, it's a very tedious situation, but you know what? I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it because I'm going to write you a check first, or you're going to write me a check first, or we're going to write each other a check. That's all it's about. And you know that's all it's about. It's about satisfying our vision, satisfying our dreams, making sure that our dreams are fulfilled and that people are helped and people are assisted, and making sure that we have enough money to retire on comfortably, hide out in our bunkers, and go through and get through the post apocalyptic bullshit and dystopia that's going to happen and make it through all of this other crazy shit together. And however we have to do that, we will. Whatever we have to do, we will. Okay? Does that make sense? Has to go through the CIA recording analytical cloud filter there. But anyway, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'm a clandestine operative you send in for the kill. I'm the fixer. I'm the fixer. I'm the guy that cleans up the bodies. I'm the guy that takes them out. So, I got somebody else to take them out and drag them out and put them in the trunk of the car. But I mean, yeah, we work good together, Chris. We work good together. If you're still listening, if you're there, I don't know if you're there or not. But yeah, we work good together, and the people we're hanging around with are pretty heavy hitters, and some great things are about to happen to both of us, and that's a good thing. And if whatever we have to do to make all of these dreams come true, no matter how difficult or how crazy or how twisted or how manipulative or whatever. Tell me about the radio station, Chris. Can you talk about that publicly? You said you were going to buy a radio station and we're going to have millions of people listening to our shows. Chris,
Sorry, my button. I was trying to push it. Um, I want to thank everybody, for listening. For even if when you do ask questions, when you wonder about me, um, that's cool because that's your perception, and you're wanting. you're when you ask a question, that means what I'm doing for a reason. Because if I was just sitting here talking to Kyler, I could do that on the phone. I would not have to be thinking that I broadcast it out here to the world. But the
Yeah.
things that we're saying is what the world needs to hear. But you also need to know that we're all so different, but you can also have a conversation, even if it's a confrontation. But make sure when your espionage is over, it wasn't about using somebody, it was
Right.
utilizing somebody.
Right. 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 Good. 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 Yes. 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 No, I feel perfect. I feel like everything's running perfectly. I feel like everything's tuned up perfectly. I just feel like everything right now. You and I have gone through so many up and downs. You and I have had so many troubles together. You and I have had so many disagreements together, temper fits and temper tantrums and all kinds of crazy shit. And deeper and bonded. Maybe I'm just being corny, and maybe I'm just being naive and stupid. But I think I'm telling the truth. I think you and I have
No,
come
it's the
down some
truth.
bumpy fucking roads together, and I think you've been my therapist. How many times have I called you crying, wanting to jump off a fucking bridge, and you brought me back? At least 4 or 5.
Well,
You know,
the one thing I say is I don't count and I don't need to, but the one thing you can do is you can count on me to be there for you when you
yeah,
make that call again. So now that's the part. We're here. That might be what my mission, and purpose in life was to come across you and help get everything that is been collected in your brain uh out here and make it come out to the world so it don't sound so insane, because you
right,
definitely have some crazy
right.
topics sometimes, and when these people have these closed minds, um I just sit back and I have more thoughts and thinking on how is people thinking about what he said than than necessarily what you're
Uh-huh.
saying to me. I am hearing it, but I'm thinking about how are people perceiving what's being said. Can they function with any common sense behind what we're saying when we say reality isn't real?
Let
What
me
we
say something.
see in Go
Let
ahead.
me interject. Let me interject something. Let me interject something very important. Now, you won't agree with this totally. I know you won't. But I refuse to be manipulative and coercive and follow some kind of narrative to the left when I really just am totally no. I'm no. Just to get a check. I'm not probably going to do that, but I am starting to do that with you around. I'm starting to do more of that with you around. I'm starting to, but that makes you sound like a manipulator and a coercer and a person that is trying to please, be a people pleaser just to get a check in the bank and a few houses built, some land acquired, and a radio station acquired, and $1 billion in access to $1 billion. I, on the other hand, don't really give a fuck what people think as long as they access my intelligence and fucking level IQ and utilize it to the fullest goddamned extent possible to further their mission and their dreams and make them come true. I'm not going to be a people pleaser. You are turning me into a people pleaser. You are turning me into a person who is a little bit manipulative and coercive, and I'm changing my ways and I'm going to kind of calm down and pull the bridle back on the stallion. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to make Chris and Kyler wealthy, healthy, and wise and fulfill
That
our
is correct.
missions. Okay, good, good. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope, and you're telling me that you love this. I mean, you guys are great. We're on so many platforms tonight. We're moving to 50 platforms, folks. Chris, tell us a little bit about this station, or is it private? Do you not want to talk about the possibility that you and I may actually have a station access to a million people or so eventually here? What's up
Yeah,
with that?
there is a talk about us making that happen, and I don't want to talk about it too much until we turn the key. But when we turn that key, we will just in on that one thing. It'll be a million people that'll be
Well,
listening at any given
you
moment, at any
you and
time,
I can
24 hours.
you and
So
I can change the world. You and I can change the little piece of the world and turn it
yes,
around
sir.
with that kind of a. I mean, and I'll take a Xanax every day or two. I'll take two clonazepam instead of one when I get up in the morning, and I'll make some major changes. Like right now, this very minute, I've already told you I've made some major changes. And the fact that this is my show and your show, we can do whatever the fuck we want to on here. But at the same time, I'm going to always use this platform for you and I to be ourselves, our true secret selves. I'm not going to use this platform as a public platform to lie to people and manipulate people and kiss their ass and sing them lullabies and bedtime stories and kiss their fucking little boo boos just to make them like me and just to make them
No,
share this fucking
that's not what this
show,
show's about.
Right. No, it's
this
not.
is
It's
uh,
not.
this is
No,
not
no.
that show. And the thing is whenever you get to meet this man, not in this show, that's when you get to understand that this show is unique. You get it once a week, every evening for 5 days, and it might wind up going to 7. It just comes
Mhm.
down to
Mhm.
seeing their interaction, seeing the people
Mhm.
get interacted. I like the questions. I like the people doing things. That this is the reason that I do come on the show. I want to see if people are listening, and if they're not listening,
Oh, believe me.
maybe I
Oh,
need to
believe
shut
me.
up and see if they'll open their
Oh,
mouth.
no, believe me. People are listening. Believe me, people are listening. Dude, you have no idea. You have no idea. We had 68,000 downloads just on Blog Talk Radio.
Right, and I get that. I would like to see if if I went for 25% of the earth that made $1, lived on less than $1 a day, I want to reach those people. Because if I can take those people and turn it into two, I'll
Yeah.
double everything that they got. And
Well,
I
we
can
also
start
need to
small.
reach some we also need to reach some funders like said today to me. He got a well, I shouldn't say this, but to you probably already know it, and I hope dickhead's not listening. But he got $1,000 from somebody. I'm sure you heard about it today. But, we're getting some of that because we're running his campaign. We're running his speeches. I'm writing his speeches. I'm doing all the heavy fucking research and all the heavy lifting. And that's what I do. That's what I'm supposed to do. He doesn't have time to do that. That's why I'm here. And I'll do the same for you anytime you ask on any of your projects. I'll spit out whatever you need spit out, whatever statistics or data points or whatever the fuck you need. I'll have it done within one day. But that's what I do.
And I've
And
got a few of those coming up for you.
okay, okay, yeah, good. I'm happy, Chris. I'm happy. I still am not satisfied with this radio platform. I still want to go back to Sam Broadcaster and OBS, or I want you to find a radio station for us, and I will make that pledge that I will turn into a not Joe Rogan because he smokes dope on air and drinks whiskey with Elon Musk, but I will turn into platform. Very sophisticated, no cursing, very cordial and respectful for you only. I'll do that for you only. I'll do that. And you've tested me. You know I can
But
do
we're
it.
not going to, I'm not going to change, and I do not want to change in no way, shape, or form Lone Wolf Radio. This show is unique to its own. Now, if we
Yeah,
open up another one,
we'll change.
then
I'll
that
change. I'll change.
will change. Okay.
Yes.
but
I'll
not in
change.
this show. I'm
You
not
don't have to
asking
change.
you or in
You
any
don't have
way,
to
shape, or
change.
form. Huh? What's that? I didn't hear
You
you,
don't
brother. I
have
was
to
talking to me.
change. You're already pretty much perfect. You don't have to change.
No, bull crap. I got to change every day. So, um, that's that. I'm far from perfect, and I ain't
No,
never gonna be. So, but I'm gonna learn, and I learn from you. I learn on just
no,
having
no,
conversations.
no. I'm talking
So,
about.
it,
Well,
it,
so would other if they could stand the test of time with me, they would learn too.
well, they
You
will on
know,
the other shows. We'll pull them
on,
in on the other shows when they can actually see who you are without
yeah,
the a hole
yeah.
sitting on with the big old patch on your back there that says this
You
is
know,
who I
Sea-Hole,
am today, and this is
like
who.
SEAL Team. You've seen the SEAL Team 6 training, and you know the bells up there, the big golden bells up there, right? And
Yep,
if you can't take the heat, you ring the bell and go home, right?
that's right.
Well, that's kind of like Lone Wolf Radio with our guest or whoever. We're SEAL Team, and that's what Lone Wolf
Oh yeah,
Radio really is. If you can't take
and that's
ring the fucking bell, and go
ring the
somewhere else.
bell. How many bells get rung? How many bells have we? Just I've
A
invited
bunch,
people. Not that they
a
don't
bunch.
enjoy the show. It's the fact they can't they can't comprehend in their brain all the different information that you're liable to get from what we're going to say, because you
Yeah,
don't want to think that. You
yeah,
don't want to think that that's truly happening, or that person that I just saw right there ain't real. That person's a hologram and ain't even
yeah,
real.
yeah.
I
I know.
can't tell that it is. I can't if I go up and touch it. And the funny part is the manifestation when it comes to they can I don't know, man. It's so crazy with the technology, and it all come from the future, from the aliens. Well, guess what? We are the aliens. When they're coming here, they're trying to save this planet, and they're trying to save the human race in the future. When they take our DNA, when they take our cows, they do these things. They're not trying to crossbreed us. Hell, look at them, all grays. They got eyes, they got a head, they got two arms, they got two legs. That is what they are. They might not have a slit in the mouth because you know what? Humans need to shut up. That's
Yeah,
what the fucking problem is.
yeah.
And they figured it out. And that's one of the things that's going to change in our DNA. What do you think the doctors are doing today? They are taking and changing your DNA to be what is going to be in the future.
I'm
But
looking for
it
that piece of
came
paper.
from the people
Big,
from the
big, big
future.
old paper to show what all platforms we're on. There's a zillion on there. Where is it? Just a minute. I want to tell you something here. There was a piece of paper I'm looking for. Um, I wanted to tell you while we're on air how many platforms we're on, and just blow your freaking mind here for a minute. Um, I just want to blow your mind, and this is not even half of them, by the way. Um, Here it is. Marion pulled this out for me. She wanted you to hear this, and our audience already pretty much knows. A lot of our people already know, but I want to tell you how many platforms we're on. Okay, Lone Wolf, Kiler Davenport podcast, podcast http tinyurl.com 435 BTW Blog Talk Radio still running. Google podcast http on Google MRR34T P5061 podcast addict on tiny URL. iHeartRadio running right now. Uh, Deezer Radio running right now. Spreaker still running right now. TuneIn running all over the world. Amazon Music running all over the world. Spotify, KylerDavenport.com on the web. Renaissance and Chronicles on Substack. HTTP Renaissance Substack, my Substack. Kyler Davenport YouTube and Chris Collins. HTTP K24PWAM. Minds.com. Original digital art by Kyler Davenport plugged into the show. through Tiny URL. Interviews with Kiler Davenport on Blogger, and Kiler Davenport on Gab with Chris Collins. Gab and Kiler Davenport on MeWe. MeWe and Chris Collins. Kiler Davenport on Instagram. Word all over the world on KD on YouTube. Tiny URL 51N151C. Kiler Davenport on APRI. Pinterest. Pinterest.com. APRI. Lone Wolf on Mixcloud. Lone Wolf on Rumble. Lone Wolf on Twitch. Lone Wolf on Sinew and Amazon.com. Kiler Davenport, Chris Collins on iTom, Unifique 4560, Kiler Davenport blog with Chris Collins, the desk of Kiler Davenport, Kiler Davenport blogspot.com, Kiler Davenport on Tumblr, tumblr.com with Kiler Davenport, Chris Collins, Internet Archive on Gmail, spoken word Kiler Davenport around the world, Tiny URL, Internet Archive Kiler Davenport on vocals, in studio live, Kiler Davenport on Mixcloud with Chris Collins, direct.me, Alternative Public Radio International Facebook page running live, Kiler Davenport at www.directme.KilerDavenport, Facebook groups times 28, APRI Broadcasting 500 Incorporated live, 10,000 Voices for Freedom live, peacock.com in groups, the Eagle's Nest, Top Gun 25 live. That's not even half. That's not even half, Chris. What do you think?
Wow. Yeah, no, I had no clue. You know me, I never watched none of our shows or listened to them.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, dude. That's not even half. That's not even half of this universe.
Well, you need to send me all those links so that way I can share them out,
I have
and
sent
I
you.
will
I have
I will
sent.
get the
Look,
word
look.
on it.
I'm going to have to make sure that your email works because we've sent you 3 times now stuff and it's gotten lost. Okay, so I want to make sure that your email works. We'll do a test tomorrow
Yeah,
morning.
we're working on getting me. I got to. They say that I can get logged in now, so I'm gonna be trying. Um, yeah,
Well, you'd
it's
want to
yeah,
think about
it's
looking at all
stupid.
this stuff at one time. You need to take a vacation. You and your wife go off for the weekend. It'll take you a whole weekend to
Oh
look
yeah, no, I'm
for
that's what I'm ready for is another getaway. It's kind of nice getting away
yeah.
and getting to go down there to Nashville and stay on the boat for a week.
Well, it's kind of nice to know that you jumped in on this 25-year station that's already built and on the ground and has a solid foundation under it and has done. We've done close to 6,000. We've hit the 6,000 mark this week. 6,000 shows in 3
Nice. We've
countries.
hit the 6,000 shows this week.
Yeah, the only thing we haven't done is monetize, and I'll talk to you about that off air. That's a whole different
Right.
conversation. We're getting ready to. We're getting ready to. But let me tell you something. It's not easy for any of you out there listening, Quora, my graduate students, my broadcasting students, my communication students. It is not easy to do what Chris and I are doing because I'm the social media guy. Chris is not. Chris doesn't give a shit about all this TTT tiny URL bullshit. I do. I'm the
Not one
social
bit.
media guy. I'm the social media guy. And without me, Chris dies in about a year. He's dead. He's just dead. He's dead. Gone. Put him in the box and bury him.
If
That's
not, if
why
not
we
quicker, because I don't play the social.
that's why we make a good is because we both have our expertise, and that's what the Super 7, I'm going to mention it again. That's what the Super 7 is about. And I'm going to get you in that
And
Super 7, Chris, mode and mentality sooner or fucking later.
I'm in that mentality, and I'm working on a few, so we can get closer to having that powerful seven. And we know that that is just a number. That's not saying there's only seven. It's
Well,
saying that there's
no,
seven
no,
people
no.
that can make decisions too. So
Well, seven.
that that
There is
really
only going to
can.
be seven people. There are going to be seven people that are only going to be vetted in because we deal with so much top secret and classified investigations through Strike Force News Investigative Team and Global Fugitive Recovery Team, and we deal with so many high power intelligence agencies around the world, from Qatar to Libya to South Africa to Costa Rica to Libya to Australia to New York to Canada. So, yeah, I mean, I'm everybody in that Super 7 will have a specialty. And then eventually, after about 6 or 7 months, Marion wants to cross train everybody slowly. Don't you think that's a good idea? Cross training people.
Well, yeah. And the thing is finding those people and how they're going to accept learning new, right? Because that's always key. Just whether or
Well,
not somebody is willing to.
Marion says the Super 7 will have to be chosen based on those who are strong enough to handle me.
Oh, that that's a given.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
that that's
If they
a
want to make a
that
million dollars,
that's a given.
if they want to make $1 million, they're going to have to pound the fucking rice and listen to the Zen master. I don't know if you've ever been to a monastery, but I have, and
Well,
I've
and
studied Zen. So, the Zen master will beat you to fucking death before you even get to enter the temple. He'll beat the fucking shit out of you. You know, and the Super 7 is going to be kind of like Delta Force. I'm going to run it kind of like Delta Force. Marion is talking now. She said, yes, we're going to run it really tight. She's laughing. She goes, Chris will love this one. But, it's going to be that tight. It's going to be Rangers or Delta Force or MI5 or MI6 or Interpol, or it's going to be Strike Force Investigative Team. And it's going to be some really high, fluting, tooting, smart, critical thinking motherfuckers, you know, who aren't sensitive. I'm telling you what's on the application. You can put it on there right now for them, Chris. And when you interview them, tell them they cannot be sensitive at all. They cannot be ultra sensitive, or they cannot be, you know, wanting us to feed them a baba, or they can't be Christian. Probably no, not at all. Probably not. It better to be agnostic or atheist or pantheist or Buddhist or Hindu or whatever, and they're going to have to be tough, 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 and passionate as you and I are, and as aggressive as you and I are, and willing to understand that together the Super 7 can put $1 million in the bank within 6 months.
yeah, that's definitely will happen. It's going to happen before we have the Super Seven.
I agree.
And
And then
one of
people,
the
and then people will be beating down our fucking door, Chris. Doesn't that piss you off? They'll be beating down the fucking door, and even Doctor Who said that. He said, "Oh, when you and Chris get the Super 7 together, if you ever do," he said, "once you start getting some money, though, and you get $100,000 in the bank, you and Chris, you'll have people beating down the door to let Kiler Davenport beat the shit out of them. If you're paying them." And I said, "I don't want those kind of people.
nope.
I don't want those kind of people that just come in to get paid. Sure, we'll pay them. Sure, we're going to pay the Super 7. Sure, we're going to pay them well. And we're not going to take their vision away and their dream away. I'm going to say that before we go off air tonight. Chris already knows this. If you come on to the Super 7, we're not touching any of your visions and dreams. We're not asking you to marry us. We're not asking you to go to bed with us. We're not asking you to give up your stuff. We're just asking you to touch the Super 7 and do some things that we're doing. That's all. We're not asking you to sign an oath, blood oath, you know? We're just asking you to sign a non-compete agreement and a confidential agreement to not go out and duplicate what Chris and I do and talk about who we know and who we associate with and how many dignitaries we talk to and how many presidents we talk to and how many classes we're working and where we get right, Chris?
I do agree. I do agree. Uh, I getting ready to
That's
do
all we're
my
asking.
nightly work. You know how that goes. And you know what? It's been a great show. We
Yeah,
have
it has.
had this has just been such a nice discussion today. You know, and getting points
Yeah,
across, getting uh maybe getting people excited about maybe what tomorrow or not tomorrow
yeah,
Monday's show will be.
yeah.
Um, and that's to me that's key. That's the reason I put 2 hours in, and it's not just I put 2 hours in. You know, I try to put more time in that during the day, but I
Oh,
don't do
yeah.
the
I
research.
know.
I don't want to know what the show's about. I don't
Yeah.
want to know any of that.
Well,
What I
you work
want
better that
is
way.
I want it
You
coming
work
at
better.
me like everybody else is going to get it.
Yeah, you work better that way. You work much better that way, and it's worked perfectly every single time. Where you just come in and go, "Oh fuck, what has Kyler got on that crazy fucking mind of his tonight?" Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we love you all very much. We really do. Chris and I love every one of you, and we're help you if you need help in any way that we have the resources and the power and the talent and the skill and the experience to be able to help to the mat for you if we can do it. And if we can't, we'll fucking tell you we can't do it. But we love you, and we'll see you guys Monday night. And Chris, you're the man. You're honorable, and I respect the hell out of you, and I appreciate you for putting up with me as long as you have. And I love you a lot, brother. And I'll talk to you this
I
weekend. And
love you
ladies
too,
and
brother.
gentlemen, we'll see you.
I look forward. I look
Yeah,
forward to all the crap that you're going to give me throughout the rest of my
yeah,
life.
yeah.
And that
And
part, you know, the
and
thing is
ladies
it
and
took too long for me to
what?
get here now. So, but I'm here. So,
Yeah. And
I,
ladies and gentlemen,
you
say
know,
what I always used to say. I'll say it again. Whatever you vividly imagine, and I mean vividly, ladies and gentlemen, Chris and I are going to do a show on this Monday night. Whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, and enthusiastically act upon will come to pass. And Chris and I are going to do a 2 hour show on this Monday night because it's Chris knows how important what I just said is. Whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, and enthusiastically act upon will come to pass. You guys take care. We love you. Bye bye.